Welcome back. We got some light snow out there, and that's going to continue this evening. Not really expecting accumulation, but road conditions are a bit slick out there, and that is making travel a little difficult, but just take it slow as you hit the roads for tonight. We're at 14 degrees in Minot. Pretty much everyone getting some kind of light snow, if not just a flurry or two. But temperatures hovering in the teens, and it's going to stay that way over the next few hours. Here's your first warning Sky Tracker Doppler radar. Some moderate snow just to the west of Carlsruhe, right over Granville right now, and extending just south of Mohall and just to the north of Minot, the northern part of town. We are dealing with some very light snow, but that is lowering visibility in spots, especially as you get closer to the airport. So North Minot, North Hill, and into Ruthville, that's where you're getting in on that activity. This all will continue pushing east overnight, and not expecting anything turbulent, as I mentioned, but just take it slow if you head out on the roads. If you're heading southward as well along 83, we do still have some light flurries being reported in and around Bismarck, so the travel is going to be a bit slow no matter if you're going north, south, east or west. The roads are icy. How much snow have we got in Minot so far for the month of January? Well, we've received 3.7 inches. That's the official total, which puts us, as of today, around 2.6 inches below normal. And at the end of the day, we should at least have at least 8 inches of snow on average for the Magic City. So we've got a ways to go before that happens. But for now, not expecting to get nearly that much as we go into the end of the month. All of us mostly in the teens now. The wind light out of the east, so that's a good thing because it will be more difficult to see if we still had some stronger wind and making way for blowing snow. Thankfully, that's not going to be a problem. What could be a problem tonight is the chance of fog. That's already being reported across the southwestern counties. Some of that will spread farther north and east later tonight. But for tomorrow, we will be dealing with cloud cover practically much of the day with temperatures mostly in the 20s. What about your Wednesday? Well, a cloudy, potentially foggy start to your Wednesday as well, and then we start to see a gradual warm up. We should see more 30s across the region for Wednesday, and by the weekend, that's where we have the chance of 40s. And that temperature trend does continue for the lower 48 states as temperatures do continue to rise across the northern plains. That's going to result in a little bit of snow melt, but no excessive warmth expected for now. So single digits and teens for our morning lows, followed by 20s and a cloudy Tuesday for our afternoon highs. And that's going to be all across the Peace Garden State. And you will notice over the next several days, no mentions of precipitation, but we will be looking at warmer weather, especially by Friday and over the weekend, looking great with 30s and even some 40s and lots of sunshine.
I like to hear that. Thank you so much, Henry.